Imagine walking into a cave deep beneath the Andes and finding perfectly carved stone jars, so smooth, so flawless, that even today's laser tools would struggle to recreate them. Or picture a 2,000-year-old battery buried in the sands of Iraq, capable of generating electricity before the word electricity even existed. But here's the real question. Were these just clever human inventions? Or something far stranger? Stay with me, because today we're diving into 15 ancient mysteries science still can't fully explain. History is full of stories we think we understand. Pharaohs, emperors, gods, warriors. But every so often we stumble across something that just doesn't fit. Like a puzzle piece from another box. These mysteries stretch across civilizations and millennia. From Egypt to Mesopotamia, from the jungles of Cambodia to the frozen cliffs of the Andes. And whether you're a skeptic or a believer in lost civilizations, one thing is certain. The past was way weirder than we imagine. All right, buckle up. Let's step into the shadows of history. And hey, if this kind of mind-bending history blows your mind, hit that subscribe button, because trust me, you don't want to miss the next mystery. 1. The Baghdad Battery. In 1938, workers digging near Baghdad stumbled across something that looked ordinary. A clay jar about the size of a fist. Nothing unusual until they cracked it open. Inside was a copper cylinder, an iron rod, and traces of acidic residue. What they had found, buried in Mesopotamian soil for over 2,000 years, was what scientists now call the Baghdad Battery. Here's where it gets wild. When modern researchers recreated it, added a bit of vinegar or lemon juice. Bam! It produced electricity. A functioning battery. From the ancient world. But why? Some suggest it was used for electroplating jewelry, coating objects in thin layers of gold or silver. Others whisper about medical experiments, or even early attempts at energy harnessing. The strangest part? No other examples have been found. Was this a one-off accident, or the tip of a lost science we barely understand? Imagine if centuries before Benjamin Franklin, ancient priests were already shocking their followers with a jolt of divine power. Did the ancients tap into electricity, then forget it? Or are we missing a much larger story? 2. The stone spheres of Costa Rica. Scattered across Costa Rica's jungles and banana plantations sit hundreds of massive stone spheres. Perfectly round, some as small as a soccer ball, others weighing over 15 tons. Here's the mystery. They were carved by the ancient Dikis culture nearly 1,500 years ago. But nobody knows how or why. Without modern tools, shaping granite into flawless spheres is nearly impossible. Even today, replicating them would be a challenge. When Spanish colonizers first arrived, they found locals whispering legends that the stones contained gold. Treasure hunters blasted many apart with dynamite and found nothing inside. Were they symbols of power, markers for astronomical alignments, or part of sacred rituals? Some researchers even think they were laid out to represent constellations, like the stars brought down to Earth. But the truth? It's still a blank page. The Dikis people vanished long ago, leaving no written language, no records, no instructions. Just hundreds of silent, impossible spheres. Next time you kick a ball across the field, imagine your ancestors carving one so perfect it's lasted over 1,000 years, without ever telling us why. 3. The Antikythera mechanism. In 1901, sponge divers searching shipwrecks off the Greek island of Antikythera pulled up a lump of corroded bronze. It didn't look like much, just a greenish, encrusted chunk. For decades, it sat forgotten. But X-ray scans in the 20th century revealed gears, dozens of them, intricately interlocked. And suddenly, history had to stop and stare. This was the Antikythera mechanism, a device built around 100 BCE. Its function: to predict solar eclipses, lunar phases, planetary movements, and even the dates of the Olympic Games. Think about that. Over 2,000 years ago, someone built a mechanical computer. The precision of the gears rivals 18th century clockwork, and yet it was created 1,000 years earlier. How? The Greeks we read about, philosophers in togas debating ethics, were apparently also engineers on par with modern watchmakers. But no other device like it has ever been found. Was it a one-off invention by a forgotten genius? Or proof that ancient civilizations had advanced tech we haven't given them credit for? Imagine if this wasn't unique. Imagine hundreds of these computers quietly guiding sailors, priests, and astronomers across the ancient world. And we only just found one. 4. The Pyramids of Giza. The pyramids. Humanity's ultimate flex. Standing for over 4,500 years, taller than 40-story buildings, built from blocks weighing up to 80 tons each. But here's the kicker. We still don't know exactly how. The Great Pyramid of Khufu is aligned almost perfectly with true north, off by just a fraction of a degree. Its base is a near-perfect square, with sides differing by less than 2 inches. And the proportions. They mirror the curvature of Earth itself, as if the builders somehow knew the planet's dimensions. Mainstream archaeologists say ramps, manpower, and simple tools explain it. But skeptics argue ramps big enough to drag 80-ton stones would have been longer than the pyramid itself. The logistics don't add up. Even wilder, some stones appear fused together with such precision that even a razor blade can't fit between them. This is craftsmanship we struggle to replicate today with laser-guided machinery. Were the pyramids tombs, power plants, or something more symbolic? Ancient Egyptians left us art, myths, and records of their lives, yet not a single papyrus explaining the pyramid's construction. So ask yourself, was it brute force and brilliance, or evidence of knowledge that slipped through history's cracks? 5. The Nazca lines across the dry Peruvian desert. Enormous figures stretch across the earth. A hummingbird with outstretched wings, a spider spanning hundreds of feet, a monkey with a spiral tail. Together they form the Nazca lines, geoglyphs so massive you can only truly see them from the sky. But here's the mind-bending part. The Nazca people had no way to fly. So why make giant drawings that only gods or future pilots could admire? Some scholars say they were ritual offerings, made to be seen by deities in the heavens. Others argue they were astronomical calendars, mapping the stars above. And of course, there are those who whisper about ancient runways for visitors not of this earth. The sheer scale is staggering. Some lines stretch for miles, and yet they were drawn with stunning precision. And despite being carved over 1,000 years ago, they remain etched in the desert thanks to the arid climate. But here's the riddle. Without aerial perspective, how did the Nazca design images that can only be recognized from above? Did they map them mathematically, using grids? Or is there some knowledge we still can't grasp? Either way, the Nazca left behind a message, massive, mysterious, and written in a language of lines we're still trying to decode. 6. Göbekli Tepe. 12,000 years ago, before farming, before writing, before the first cities, humans were supposed to be nomadic hunters chasing mammoths across frozen plains. And yet, buried in modern-day Turkey, we find Göbekli Tepe, a sprawling temple complex that rewrites history. Carved stone pillars, some weighing 20 tons, arranged in circles like an ancient cathedral. Each pillar decorated with carvings of animals, abstract symbols, even possible constellations. Here's the kicker. Göbekli Tepe is older than Stonehenge by 6,000 years. Older than the pyramids by 7,000. By conventional timelines, this place shouldn't exist. And yet, it does. Archaeologists believe it was a center of ritual and worship. But how did hunter-gatherers organize the manpower and engineering to build it? Where did the knowledge come from? And why, centuries later, did they bury it deliberately under tons of earth, as if to hide it from the future? Some say it's proof that religion sparked civilization, not the other way around. Others whisper that it's a relic of a forgotten advanced culture, wiped out at the end of the Ice Age. Whatever the truth, Göbekli Tepe forces us to ask, what else lies buried, waiting to shatter everything we thought we knew about human history? 7. The Olmec Colossal. Heads deep in the jungles of Mexico, giant stone faces stare silently into the distance. Some stand 10 feet tall, others weigh over 40 tons. They are the colossal heads of the Olmec civilization, carved more than 3,000 years ago. Each head has unique features: broad noses, thick lips, distinct helmets. They're not generic statues, they're portraits, frozen in stone. Here's the mystery. The Olmec didn't have wheels, iron tools, or beasts of burden to haul stone. Yet somehow they transported these colossal basalt boulders over 50 miles through dense jungle and rivers. Who are the faces meant to represent? Rulers? Warriors? Gods? Some theorists even claim they depict people from faraway lands, hinting at ancient transoceanic contact. And there's a stranger twist. Many of these heads were intentionally buried, hidden by the Olmecs themselves. Was it an act of reverence? Or something darker, like a culture erasing its past? Every time you stand before one of these massive heads, you're staring directly into the face of a mystery. How did they move them? And why did they want them to endure for thousands of years? 8. The Library of Alexandria. Imagine a single building where the entire knowledge of the ancient world was stored. Texts from Greece, Egypt, Mesopotamia, India, even China. Scientific discoveries, blueprints for inventions, histories of empires long forgotten. That was the Library of Alexandria. Founded in the 3rd century BCE in Egypt, it was said to contain hundreds of thousands of scrolls. Some legends claim every ship docking in Alexandria was required to hand over its manuscripts, which were copied and stored in the library. Now here's the tragedy. It's gone, destroyed. But how is still a matter of debate. Some blame Julius Caesar's siege of the city in 48 BCE. Others say it was burned centuries later under Roman or Christian rule. Still others claim it was destroyed gradually, through neglect and politics. But the real loss isn't the building, it's the knowledge. Imagine texts on medicine, astronomy, even technologies centuries ahead of their time, wiped from history. Did humanity lose cures, scientific principles, or entire histories of vanished civilizations? The destruction of Alexandria is a scar on human history. And the question that haunts us: what if the answers to many of today's mysteries, Atlantis, lost technologies, forgotten empires, were sitting on those shelves, reduced to ash? 9. The Shroud of Turin. In a cathedral in Turin, Italy, lies a piece of linen cloth. Faintly imprinted on it is the image of a man, front and back, his arms crossed, his body scarred. Believers say this is the burial shroud of Jesus Christ. Here's the strange part. The image isn't painted, dyed, or burned. Microscopic analysis shows no brushstrokes, no pigment. And when scientists tried to recreate it with medieval methods, they failed. Carbon dating in the 1980s suggested it was from the Middle Ages. A forgery. But critics argue the tested sample was contaminated by centuries of handling and repairs. More recent studies suggest the cloth could be far older. And here's the kicker. When viewed in negative photography, the image reveals astonishing detail, a 3D-like quality that even modern imaging struggles to explain. Is it divine? A natural chemical reaction? An elaborate medieval trick that science still can't replicate? Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, the shroud forces one uncomfortable question. Are we looking at the face of a man who changed history, or the most convincing mystery in religious history? 10. Puma Punku. High in the Bolivian Andes lies Puma Punku, a site so baffling that even archaeologists scratch their heads. Here, colossal stone blocks lie scattered like a giant's Lego set. Some weigh over 130 tons, yet were transported miles from a quarry. But the stones themselves are the true enigma. They're cut with machine-like precision, perfect 90-degree angles, drill holes that look like they were bored with high-speed tools, intricate interlocking shapes, as if designed for mass production. And remember, the builders had no steel tools, no wheels, no cranes. According to mainstream history, they were Bronze Age people with simple hammers and chisels. How did they do it? Were they masters of techniques we've lost? Did they use methods we can't even imagine? Or, as some suggest, was Puma Punku a site of knowledge passed down from an earlier, more advanced civilization? Even stranger, legends of the local Tiwanaku people claim the site was built in a single night by the gods. A poetic exaggeration? Or memory of something extraordinary? Walk among Puma Punku's ruins, and you can't help but feel like you're standing at the edge of human history, staring into a mystery carved in stone that refuses to give up its secrets. 11. The Moai of Easter Island. Far out in the Pacific Ocean lies Easter Island, one of the most remote places on Earth. And scattered across its grassy slopes are the legendary Moai statues, towering stone heads with solemn expressions, some standing nearly 30 feet tall and weighing over 80 tons. But here's the twist. They're not just heads. Excavations revealed full bodies buried beneath the soil, massive torsos hidden underground for centuries. How did the Rapa Nui people, without wheels or beasts of burden, move these giants across the island? Oral traditions claim the statues walked to their resting places. Modern experiments show ropes and teams could rock them side to side like waddling giants. But could small island communities really move hundreds of them this way? And why build them at all? Some say they were ancestors, guardians watching over the island. Others believe they were spiritual conduits to the gods. Even stranger, the islanders nearly deforested their home, possibly in the process of moving the Moai, leading to societal collapse. Were the statues a triumph, or the seeds of downfall? Stand face to face with the Moai, and you realize these aren't just statues. They're questions carved in stone, staring back across time. 12. The Sumerian King List. In the ruins of ancient Mesopotamia, archaeologists discovered a clay tablet inscribed with cuneiform, the world's first writing system. On it was the Sumerian King List, a record of rulers stretching back thousands of years. At first, it seems ordinary, but then you notice something bizarre. Some kings are said to have ruled for thousands of years, one for 36,000, another for 28,000. Were these divine exaggerations, symbolic numbers, or memories of something else? Some scholars say it's pure mythology, blending real rulers with gods and legends. But others wonder, did the Sumerians preserve fragments of history from an earlier, forgotten epoch, perhaps even from before the Great Flood described in their myths? Here's the kicker. Buried within the list are rulers we can confirm through archaeology, real people with real reigns. Which means this isn't pure fiction. It's a blend of myth and history. Did the ancients truly believe their kings lived for tens of thousands of years? Or is the king list a distorted echo of something extraordinary, an age of gods walking among men? 13. The tomb of Qin Shi Huang. In 1974, farmers digging a well in China stumbled on broken clay figures. They had uncovered the terracotta army, thousands of life-size soldiers guarding the tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. But here's the real mystery. The central tomb, the emperor's resting place, has never been opened. Ancient texts claim it holds palaces, treasures, and even a map of the empire recreated with rivers of mercury flowing through it. So far, archaeologists haven't dared enter. Why? For one, the technology to excavate without destroying the site doesn't exist yet. For another, soil tests around the tomb reveal unusually high levels of mercury, suggesting the ancient texts might be true. Imagine an underground world sealed for over 2,000 years, still untouched. Inside could be secrets of the Qin dynasty, lost technologies, or treasures beyond imagination. But it could also be something far stranger. Was the mercury symbolic, or did the ancients actually engineer a system to preserve or even protect the tomb? Until the day it's opened, the tomb of Qin Huang remains a locked vault of history, guarded by an army of clay soldiers still standing at attention after 2 millennia. 14. The Ark of the Covenant. Few relics inspire as much awe or fear as the Ark of the Covenant. According to the Bible, it was a gold-covered chest holding the stone tablets of the 10 Commandments. But it wasn't just symbolic. The Ark was described as radiating divine power, capable of bringing plagues, parting rivers, and striking down armies. Some accounts say priests carrying the Ark glowed with energy. Others describe deadly blasts when it was mishandled, almost like electrical discharges. But where is it now? That's the greatest mystery. Some say it was hidden in a temple under Jerusalem. Others claim it was taken to Ethiopia, where monks still guard a relic they insist is the Ark itself. Still others believe it was lost forever during invasions. Was it a sacred object, a misunderstood technological artifact, or simply myth? If rediscovered today, would it reveal divine truth? Or something scientific but no less extraordinary? Until then, the Ark remains a relic of mystery, a chest said to hold the voice of God, lost in the sands of time. 15. Atlantis. Over 2,000 years ago, the philosopher Plato wrote about a mighty empire, Atlantis, a land of wealth, power, and advanced knowledge, swallowed by the sea in a single day and night of misfortune. For centuries, people debated, was it allegory? A cautionary tale about hubris? Or was Plato recording a memory passed down from a real lost civilization? Theories abound. Some point to Santorini, where a volcanic eruption wiped out the Minoan civilization. Others claim Atlantis lies beneath the Caribbean, or even Antarctica. Ancient maps, strange underwater ruins, and mysterious legends all fuel the speculation. What makes Atlantis so tantalizing is that it touches on humanity's deepest fear and hope. The fear that entire civilizations can vanish overnight, leaving only whispers. The hope that once, long ago, humans achieved heights of knowledge we've since forgotten. Modern science hasn't confirmed Atlantis, but every discovery, from submerged cities in India to ruins off the coast of Japan, keeps the legend alive. Maybe Atlantis never existed, or maybe it's the missing chapter of history, waiting to be rediscovered. Until then, it remains the most enduring mystery of all. A lost world, half myth, half memory. So there you have it, 15 ancient mysteries that defy explanation. From batteries buried in Mesopotamia to lost continents swallowed by the sea, the past keeps reminding us, history isn't finished. It's still being written. What do you think? Are these just human ingenuity and forgotten techniques, or evidence of civilizations we've yet to uncover? Drop your theories in the comments. I'll be reading them. And hey, stick around and subscribe. Because trust me, history is way wilder than Netflix could ever dream up.